Following up on alarm calls of kudu and impala for the entire morning. About 45 minutes ago we heard alarm calls of kudu in this area, and we made our way into this area to see if we could come and find what was disturbing them. They've gone silent, and just as we were busy combing through the area, we bumped into these buffalo now. It's for precisely these moments that I carry a rifle, as you'll notice. We're far away from vehicles and we're far away from a lodge. And this is essentially just a piece of safety equipment, very similar to a safety belt or a car's airbag. And, you know, while we hope we never use it, I, for one, am quite happy to have it. So they're big, these guys, you know. They don't seem to be too worried about us, but like with all dangerous animals, you want to kind of try and maintain a healthy distance from them. They're watching us, we're watching them, but we're definitely not going to be going any closer. In fact, Scott and I are going to be making our way away from these buffalo. Where the source of these kudu calls and alarm calls came from us, we think we heard these kudu calls. So we're going to be walking into the bush very carefully, and we're going to be keeping our eyes on our back trail, making sure that these guys can't get us. All right, let's carry on. So myself and Scott have come into this area. We're trying to make our way away from the buffalo, perpendicular away from them. And this is very, very close to where we heard those kudu giving alarm calls a bit earlier this morning. Now while we're on foot, as it's quite thick in here, we were also on foot, and because we didn't have the disturbance of the car engine, we were able to hear these kudu giving alarm calls. Isn't it wonderful that you can join us on foot while we come and look for the cause? We're going to be quite careful. I want to check wind direction the whole time. I'm using my trusty Scott sock for that. It's blowing directly into our faces, which is a good thing. Let's snoop around a bit. I'm being quite wary, keeping my eyes scanned. It's important. It's important to scan and to listen. The bush is telling us all the time that things are happening around you. They've told us that there's a predator here via kudu's giving a bark. You never can tell what you're going to find. Okay, I've got what looks to be a kill here. As you can see, we've definitely got a dead animal. Yeah, I'm just going to have a look with my binoculars and see. It's a kudu. Can you believe it? Now, the things that kill kudu, lion kill kudu, leopard can kill kudu. I don't see any lions here. I mean, I didn't hear anything. They're not growling at us. But I think what we're going to do is just make sure there aren't any lions lying here in the shade. And then we're going to back out and we're going to call Pieter or Hayden. We're going to call one of them here. And he'll take you closer in the vehicle. But myself and Scott, we're just going to make a quick recce here just to make sure that it's an attended carcass. This time of the year, animals do die of disease, and we just want to make sure that it's not an animal that's died of a disease. So we're just making sure that this kudu hasn't died of natural causes, which is why we are walking around it at the moment. This time of year, drought conditions, kudu and impala definitely like dying from natural causes, dry times, disease, anything like that. I don't want to approach the carcass too closely in case there is a cat here. Doesn't look like there's anything here, although we have I've got growling to my right. Okay, so folks, I've just heard some growling coming from that bush over there. Now that's a clear indication to me that there's a predator around here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be slowly backing out, and we're going to be calling in a vehicle. So this kudu definitely didn't die of natural causes. We've definitely got a predator here, guys. So, wow. So, we've now made our way out. Pieter or Hayden coming. Pieter, if you copy me, we've got what looks to be a kudu kill with, we didn't see it, but we definitely got growl. Probably 250 meters into the bush from Philemon's.
Very exciting for us. Got the call a bit earlier saying that there might be some exciting news. Stefan and Scott are tracking, and knowing what you guys know now, I'm very excited as well. We are very close to there. We're just waiting to get the final confirmation for them if they did get a visual or not, which again you've seen before us. So I'm looking forward to getting a look myself now. Stefan should be somewhere in this vicinity. There we go. Just look down that way, guys. There you can see. Alright. There's Stefan, we've got him. I must admit, I'm very excited to see Stefan and Scott. And also about what we're going to see, what they found for us there. That's really awesome. Really, in the end, getting on foot and tracking things down, there's a great adventure aspect to it. Also one of the best ways to find these animals, so that's amazing. Also great to have the first live experience of this shared experience. Let's try and unwire myself here. Guys, just in case I need to talk to you, I'm going to step this. It's a kill.
female kudu kill, which is just on the other side of this bush.
Okay.
We heard growling coming from that complete in there.
You've had visual on her, right?
No, the kudu, yeah. We were just walking around to make sure she didn't die of natural causes or anything.
Okay.
Growled at,
So you found the carcass in here?
Yeah, we didn't see anything, but definitely that bush is angrier than
Is
most.
it?
So
It's not just the bush, it's big leopard.
something's there, yeah. Don't know, didn't get
It's not a
visual,
leopard tortoise, perhaps.
No.
That's amazing, huh?
So we're going to head out, leave you to it so we don't disturb it. Good luck. Hope you enjoy. Also, let us know what you find.
And you don't have to know the answer of just being able to run faster than the slowest person. I mean, I'm sure Scott running fast, but he's carrying that big weather. Scott, awesome. There's so stuff to start this. It's amazing, huh?
Cool. Good luck.
Guys, that's so exciting. Sure. Just grab this. Sorry, I'm just trying to plug myself in so I can hear the needed information. Maybe couldn't hear quite everything we were saying there because we are speaking quite softly. Just to say again, if you couldn't follow, Scott and Stefan came in here, heard some calls, alarm calls, found the area for it, and then didn't see the leopard but heard it. And I'm going to try and see just now. You know why I want to keep saying Trevor this morning for Stefan? It reminds me of a guy called Trevor that did that as well. But Stefan's saying that they saw the carcass and it looks like a kudu carcass. They had a look just to make sure it's not maybe a random sort of coincidence. And they didn't see the leopard now, but they could hear, as we were joking, they could hear a bush that seems to be speaking leopard. So we're going to look around here. Oh, you know, that being on foot is just great. I mean, just being part of this. I mean, I'm in the vehicle. But for myself, I can feel my adrenaline going up a little bit. So you can imagine the guys as they're tracking into that, you're doing a fresh track where you've got to smell something that tells you you're right close to it now. Always amazing. Let's see what we can find, guys. Scrubby bush around here. Carefully. Oh, there's the carcass. There's the first part of the story. Well, of the hunt story. The first part of the story was Stefan and them finding this. On so many levels. I think what happened is as Stefan and they were coming in, following up on the sort of bits of information they received from, oh, look at that. Yo, amazing how these guys been in. Just look there. Incredible, the camouflage, huh? And keep in mind we had a very strong suspicion whereabouts to look for this leopard. Just to sort of bring you in on the story, if you've maybe just joined us, we'll show you again just now. On the left hand side there's quite a large kudu. I'm very impressed. A big kill for this leopard. Let me show you that. And the guys are coming in here to follow up on the sort of the bush information they received, the sounds and the tracks and the things all put together. Obviously coming in on foot, the leopard would have seen them. They're very aware as well. He would have just moved off, as we can see now. He moved off about 30 yards and left this carcass here. But this is amazing. This is a massive prey for any leopard. Even a mature male of 5-6 years would still be, I mean, that's a young but adult female kudu. That's probably, I'm going to estimate it at about 120 kilograms, at least twice, if not more than twice the weight of the leopard. He's had a good meal already. Gotten into the intestines. He would have eaten some of the good bits, liver maybe, some of the big sort of chunky meat areas around the hindquarters. So he's already had a good meal. Let's go closer to him, see if we can confirm leopard this is, but that is a very impressive kill for any leopard. Never mind one of the young males. Hey, you beautiful thing. I was hoping to find Kunuma in this area, but this is quarantine. I think. Let's just make sure. Yes. As also for you that know this leopard well, help us with the ID there to confirm it for us. We use the whisker spots, the facial markings, but after a while you get to know them even just on sort of how they look, you know, just the facial shape and so forth. But this looks like quarantine to me. One of the two young males, and just to stress the fact again, I know there's been sort of comments about these young guys catching smaller prey. That's typically what young leopards do. They catch whatever they can really in the beginning while they're still gaining experience. They are independent of their mother now, even though he is still staying in her area. So they still have the protection to an extent of staying in her area, and if the big dominant male came through here, which is Mvula, which is their father, they should have a bit of a break from him. But very, very soon they will be totally independent. They will be pushed off. And just heartening to know that this guy at 2.5 years old almost is capable of killing a kudu cow that is at least twice, maybe even approaching 3 times his own weight. So well done, full belly. Too big to take up into a tree. So the next challenge would be to try and keep this food, because hyenas, lions, other leopard, even wild dogs potentially, all animals that could steal that food from him. But that's very impressive. And how exciting to not only be looking at a leopard, but to have found this through the teamwork, the different guys out here, and more specifically through the skill and experience and steady nerves of the guys that are out on foot, Stefan and Scott. And I know from your side as well, guys, this is very exciting that we're going to be getting you into the bush on foot more often as well. It just gives you a deeper appreciation, deeper understanding of the bush, just by being able to look at the tracks and look at the thorns on the thorn bush, or the leaves on the tree and how it works, or the berries on the bush when it's fruiting. All those little things just give you a deeper understanding of nature and of the environment around you. But ultimately, being on foot is also hugely exciting, because you might track yourself into a leopard on a kill, or a herd of elephant, or a couple of buffs just taking it easy in the shade. And that's all the exciting, the adventure, the rush aspect of the walk, combined with a very sensitive ability to learn about all the small things as well. So being on foot truly is a lovely experience, and I'm very excited that this is coming back into the experience for everyone. So on all levels, an exciting morning for us. Maneuver a little bit. I was going to say maneuver a little bit. That would be maneuver and move in one word. So let's maneuver a little bit. Quarantine seems happy in the shade there. He's got lots of food just there. Too big for him to move. That's the one problem. That would be too difficult for him to put up in a tree. But it's just, maybe we can get a slightly better look at him while he's having a nap. What a beautiful cat. After last year, Pieter and myself, Wishes and my wife, we were referring to them as Brad and Orlando. Quarantine reminding us a little bit of Brad Pitt. He's got that classic square jaw, great eyes, whereas Kunuma is a little bit more sort of prettier. Kunuma could be in the area as well. In fact, this would be fascinating. I was saying earlier, you could have things like a hyena, wild dog, lion potentially arriving and taking this food from him. But there's actually as good a chance, if not a better chance, that his brother might show up here, and that would be very interesting to see. They are now independent of each other. They don't hang around together anymore, but they obviously know each other well. They grew up together. So it would be very interesting to see if Kunuma was to show up here. Would they share the kill, considering that it's such a large kill? So who knows? Maybe this morning still. I would definitely not miss the sunset safari, because we have a leopard story happening. Guys, thanks for the confirmations there of this ID. You guys agreeing that it is quarantine. George Ann just commenting there as well that this is the first time that you've actually heard quarantine growl. It's very important that we realize animals wild animals react very differently to people on foot as opposed to us in the vehicles. With the vehicles, they get used to the shape of the vehicle, the presence of the vehicle. They don't associate that necessarily with the traditional primal human being on foot. Keep in mind, for many millions of years and for thousands of years, we've been competing with each other in some way or another. So innately, predators, or all animals, but even predators, are afraid of humans, or wary of them at least. Around here, they get used to it. He's not upset. You can see he's totally relaxed. Stefan and them walking into this area wouldn't have had any difference to his behavior other than that he growled and ran away a little bit, but he's not going to be upset about it the rest of the day. And it's also important to know that it's normal for different species to interact. If hyena had walked in here, they might have tried to steal that food. If lions had walked in here, they would have tried to kill this leopard. So people walking in a sighting like this is just a great experience for all of us, and something that really is not a problem or a threat in any way to this leopard. But it doesn't mean that he's not going to react. Oh, this is awesome. On so many levels. Look at that coat, even just lying in the wide open in front of us. It's still amazing how they blend in. If we just look at sort of the wider view, obviously it is getting brighter now. We've got the sun getting harsher, so your contrasts are much harsher. You can see the sunlight outside very bright. But just look at that. Keep in mind, we are at the moment, I'd say about 6 meters, let's call it 20 feet, if that, away from this leopard. And you could so easily walk right past this. If you didn't hear the little growl from the leopard, or smelled the carcass, or heard the squirrels calling, or found the tracks, if you were just walking randomly through the bush, you could just walk past this without even knowing about them. They are truly one of the masters of camouflage leopard. In behavior, in how they do things, and how they move, and how they approach the environment. And obviously that coat, that dappled markings, or the rosettes we get on them, and this leopard didn't decide to put that on this morning. Leopards don't change their spots, as you know, but it certainly took a long time to evolve into this perfect camouflaged coat. Oh, look at him. Beautiful. This is beyond awesome. I've just said now that on so many levels this is very special. Very excited that we're bringing the walk into the experience again for you on all levels, from the small things, the tracks, the flowers, the trees, all those little things you can learn, but also the excitement of it, the fact that you can actually find a leopard or an elephant on foot. And then to share that with the vehicles and bringing it all together, you know, it's getting closer and closer all the time to all the different experiences you can have on a safari. And that's what we're doing. So fantastic also to see this leopard. I know this is a particularly special leopard for many of us. Quarantine in Kuyuma, the boys of Karula, which is a leopard that I have a long history with and have a lot of time for. And then the fact that it's happening right now, that we're sharing it, is something that no matter how many times I've done it, for me this just is beyond cool. So I have to say a special good morning, and so nice to have you in the vehicle, as I know you are very often, Scuttable. My wife Leishna is on drive as well at the moment. She's got a special place for these leopard and for Karula. She knew them well back then. So nice to have you in the vehicle. Very nice. Glad you're enjoying it with us. Oh, look at those eyes. Amazing. Anne-Marie is just wondering how close Stefan and Scott were when they found the queue. Now, I'm not exactly sure how close they were, but I do know that they had a good look at that carcass, and I don't think he's moved much further than where he is now. And Stefan also said to me that he heard the bush growl. I love the way Stefan describes things. He's got a great understanding, well above average in terms of how the bush works, and also has a great way of interpreting it and explaining it. And he was saying he heard the bush growl from us to the kudu or to the carcass. We'll just have another look. 30 meters, if that. We can show you quickly. This is the tree that would have been growling, and there's the carcass. Brian's just going to show you around that side. So I'd say about 30 meters. That's about 30 yards, close to the same distance. And that's where they would have been at some stage when they heard the growling bush. And he also, keep in mind, he was just letting them know that, listen, I'm over here. I don't want to confront you unnecessarily. And that works well. So good communication both ways. Oh, look at that face. Just look at that face. While sort of linked together there, Rena is just asking if we're close to where those hyena were earlier. We were following some hyena earlier, and we thought they were maybe, in fact I even speculated on the fact that it might be Q's kill, because that's where we last saw him 2 days ago. But we're a bit further away from there now, and also in the opposite direction from where the hyenas were heading. So if they were following up on a scent, it was maybe an old kill from this guy, meaning a small kill from a day or two ago, or maybe something else. Who knows what it was? But not this, which is very lucky for him, because, as I said, the biggest challenge here for Q is, now that he's got this big prey, I mean, he's got the equivalent of he could eat this for 5-6 days and not even finish it. But his big challenge will be to hopefully avoid discovery, because that carcass is too big to get up into a tree for him at the moment. So he will just have to hope that vultures don't find it, because if vultures find it, then hyenas could find it. Keeping in mind, let me just think, distance-wise, not very far from here, less than a mile, I would say about not even a kilometer, probably 800-900 meters from here. So let's say a 3/4 of a mile or so away, there's a hyena den. So lots of hyena activity in that area, and I would think that, if not this morning still, you never know what could happen. But certainly by this afternoon, this evening, tomorrow morning, there's going to be interesting interspecies activity around this carcass as well. So this is a story that we will definitely follow. But what a great way to get into it. What a great way to discover this. Starting with the guys on foot, right on ground level. Right there we can feel and smell and touch, and even feel in your heartbeat itself what's going on around you. Just going to reposition slightly. While this guy is taking a bit of a nap, and you can see breathing not that fast but relatively fast because the belly is a bit fuller now. We know that Q has had a good eat already, so the belly is fuller, meaning it pushes up against the diaphragm, meaning he can't take as deep breaths as he might have otherwise, so that's why he's breathing a bit fast. Having a nice little nap as well, because he's going to feed again later. He wants to make the most of this meal while it's his. I was just thinking again, I've experienced this almost in a nostalgic way a number of times over the last few days. And I've been sitting with leopard and I just remind myself, not that one ever forgets, but I've just been reminding myself of how absolutely amazing it is to sit like this. We are 6-8 yards away from a beautiful male leopard. He's totally unperturbed by us. We're seeing natural behavior. I have to pinch myself every now and again and just remember again that this is amazing. What we're experiencing right at this moment, potentially on these drives, is just phenomenal. Strange, I mentioned it earlier on the drive as well, but today has a distinctive slight wintry feel to it, more so than we've had up until, well, today. So when we arrived, it was still mostly summer, and it has certainly felt like in the last 24 hours winter has arrived in a very pleasant way. We've got this nice sort of soft warm sun on us, leopard sitting next to us, exciting stuff to look forward to for this afternoon. But for the moment, we are just going to quickly jump over towards HT as well. I know that he's as excited as we are to hear about this. This is one of his favorite, actually this is his favorite leopard. So you're going to go say goodbye with HT, and then we'll see you back here just now to see if anything happens before the end of drive. See you now.
Folks, we just left those zebra because they walked into the vegetation. We went around a little bit further, saw some nice impala and so on, but I wanted to stick with Pete because Pete is with quarantine. How fantastic is that? To finish off this morning's drive with that beautiful, beautiful cat Q. That is my favourite leopard on in this area. I just want to come back and say hi and say bye. It's been a really nice drive this morning. Elephant to start off, really beautiful just to see that hyena as well going up that track. That was a beautiful shot Andrew did there. I really enjoyed watching that hyena walk off into the distance. And then a little bit of a walk through Buffelshoek Dam. It was really good. I enjoyed it this morning. Lots of lovely colours and senses that we went through. Bit of zebra action going on, which is great because I haven't seen zebras since I've been back, and always great to see. So a really nice morning. Zebras, when they walk off the road. We don't normally follow plains game or animals like that onto. I might just take this little road down here. It's quite a nice little road, one of my less trodden paths. So we just let them go off into the vegetation. But they're a beautiful creature, and the Birchals or plain zebra is the one that we were with then, with that shadow stripe, as we said. Many of you know lots of this information, but as I say, I always say the simple stuff up front, because you never know who's just joined us. If it's our first safari for some people, it's great to get all that information back out. Just remind us of some of the simple sort of facts about the animals as well. Question from Sherry in Colorado. Sherry, great to have you with us, and thank you for joining us. Your question: do male zebras spend their time in solitary situations, or do they hang out in bachelor groups, or what's their sort of behaviour when they're not in mating season? Well, Sherry, the interesting thing is that all of the above. Really, I've seen them solitary. You just see one animal walking through the bush. They are quite territorial in their herds when it is mating season, but you do often see bachelor herds as well, particularly in mating season. So they really do have a bit of quite a complex social structure, lots and lots of gesturing and body shaped and facial movements, particularly facial movements. Like most people, anyone out there that works with horses will know that you can really tell a horse's temperament from it. It's how it's holding its posture and how it's moving its facial features and ears, etc. So same with zebra, lots of lip movement, but particularly the males, they will fight ferociously in mating season, but I've seen them in all different situations, Sherry. Solitary, which is obviously a little bit less favourable for survival, in a bachelor group, and in mixed herds outside of breeding season. So thank you, Sherry, for being with us this morning, and a great question. So we're just arriving up in the quarantine area now, and I think I'm just going to give you a final farewell, and just to say thank you very, very much for being with us. I'll just pull onto this road here. Thanks so much for being with us. It's been great to have you this morning. I'm going to hand back over to Peter, but we're going to be out this afternoon for our sunrise drive here on Wild Safari Live. It's been fantastic to be with you. We'll see you just now. What was that? Noise that he picked up, maybe. Well, guys, welcome back just for the last part of the drive. Beautiful view here of a mostly semi-sleepy leopard. He's got a full belly. If you've maybe just managed to join us for the last minute or two of the drive, we would have a fantastic morning. Beautiful. Yeah, that's what predators do well when their bellies are full. Stunning morning. A little bit cool to start with at Ahina, a couple of ellies, lots of things happening, but I really think the highlight for this morning was, again, as I said earlier, on different levels even, but we've started with the walk again, so that in itself is exciting. It's such a special way to experience the bush. And Stefan and Scott, they managed to track down and find this amazing leopard. Not only that, he's got a kill close by, a very impressive kill at that. The size of it, he's caught a young adult kudu female, so I'm guessing at around, as I said earlier, 120 plus kilograms, maybe even as much as 160, so very close to at least 2 times, or probably closer to 3 times the body weight of this leopard. Actually maybe even more. I'm trying to guess. He's probably not weighing much more than 45-50 kilograms at the moment. Yeah, so I'd say probably 3 times his weight.
So a very impressive hunt. Now, I know it's been talked about in the Twitter feeds as well. Guys, what's going to happen with this kill is open to anyone's guess, but I would certainly think that the hyena clan in this area, keeping in mind we've got a clan of hyenas that live in this area, they've got their den, they've got their offspring, their babies in this area. They have to find lots of food because of that. They have to be aware of other predators in the area because of that. So that's a big dynamic in this area at the moment. So if I had to venture a guess, I would hope for this leopard's sake that nothing discovers this carcass, but it is in the open. There's not much cover around, even as much as bushes goes, never mind a tree. So I would think that during the day it's not impossible that vultures will spot this. This will be the first guys to sort of zone in on this. And if vultures find it, from that might follow that you might find... Sorry, I just think I just saw a snake. I don't know, it was quick. Either way, if the vultures find it, that might then lead to other predators finding it. Very good possibility that this guy's brother is in the area, Kunyuma. That would be fascinating if he was to join here. Not impossible. Very possible that the hyena clan in the area might find it. That would be not dramatic or catastrophic or anything like that, but it would influence obviously big time what's going on here, because Q might lose his kill then. I heard a lion roaring this morning in this direction. There should be lions somewhere in the area, also a possibility. So many things that can happen during the course of the day, and possibly in the course of the day, but likely late afternoon. That's when things get active. That's when scents and smells travel well. So as you might guess, we will certainly be spending time this afternoon with this beautiful leopard and this whole story, seeing what happens with the kill, seeing what else comes in here. Is it maybe another leopard? Is it maybe another predator? There was a little group of buffalo around earlier as well, so much to look forward to. And of course, having the guys on foot out there, you never know what can happen, what they might find, what we might find in the vehicle. So before I talk my tongue into a twister there, it's been a brilliant morning. As always, guys, let me just sit this way around. My seat here. It's been a brilliant morning, and you know, leopard like that, can't ask for more. Knowing he's going to be here this afternoon, almost certainly, can't guarantee it. There's a carcass right there. Lots of excitement ahead of us. From myself, Peter, Pretorius, Brian, always nice to be in the vehicle with you, and all of us here down in Djuma. Thanks for joining us. We will see you for another live safari this afternoon. Bye-bye.